Hey y'all, Dekumon here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Last time, we started 6.4's main story. Finally. Oh my goodness, it still feels weird having to be on main content. Actually being on current content, no less. Anyway, and what we were actually doing is Stolla's got this crazy idea. If we can blast open a gate to the 13th on the moon, we'll end up on the 13th moon. Not a bad idea. Opening the gate, however, well, that's another story entirely, and to do it, we had to go into the Ether Font on the Isle of Ham. And fun little dungeon. Long day though, and I am so ready to move on. Orange! Like fear to flame. With the tank's transportation thus arranged, our first task is complete. We may now turn our attention to the second. To wit, obtaining the blessing of the Ilsabard contingent to use the Tower of Babel to channel energy onto the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. Now, I imagine they're not gonna say no, but they'll probably have some things for us to do before we can. Guessing, nope, not voiced. Not the way my character just walked.
Dekumon, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Void Scent incursion. Your actions saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us for not sending word in advance, Commander, but we seek your cooperation in a matter of great import.
Also, I noticed that Varshan suddenly has winter gear. I'm half surprised this isn't a voice scene.
Indeed. We appreciate you consulting with us instead of just taking unilateral action. It is no simple matter to activate the Tower of Babel, and I speak not only of the technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else.
Emotional?
There we have yet to re-establish a governing body. We provisionally refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. As you would expect, they are predominantly native Garleans, those of whom are uncomfortable with ethereal manipulation.
Of course they are.
To compound matters, the trauma inflicted by anima is still fresh. If the tower were to suddenly light up again, it is like to cause distress and reopen old wounds. Better that than facing a mass invasion by Gulbez and his Void-Sent hordes, surely. Of course, we acknowledge the gravity of the situation as well as the promised bloodshed should we fail to act. Yet, even were we to convey your warning to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of magic or the rift. They will struggle to comprehend why they must be forced to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What's there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Void-Sent with their own eyes? They were just invading a couple days ago. Let us suppose you encounter someone who is freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might be to make them a fire, yes?
Well, for most people, but I'm not sure Zero would.
But what happens if that person's sole experience with fire was being badly burned by it, and they harbored an acute fear? Despite the benefits, nay, the necessity, of the warmth you offer, they may flee on instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. So, like the fire that torments this individual, the Tower of Babel torments the people of Garlemald. Yet, we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome their fear. So, what's the plan? I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist however we can. We should speak with Alphino and Alice. With the rapport they have established with the Garlean people, I dare say they could provide us with valuable insight. In the meantime, Ranger, might I ask that you remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation?
Alright, let's see if the twins can give us some insight. Not voiced again, wow, surprising.
I'm glad to see you, Dekumon. Vichra has explained our present dilemma. 'Tis no unfounded concern that the Garleans might take poorly to the reactivation of the Tower of Babel.
That's putting it mildly. Many would be up in arms over it.
Trust in the Ilsabard contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly or we risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved.
There's that T word again.
Trust again.
Our music suddenly cut out. Someone got an idea here.
Well, it seems to me there's not for it but to speak with the people directly. Rather than harping on about the necessities of the plan, we need to lend an ear to their concerns. Then perhaps we can begin working towards a compromise.
That's not a bad idea, I'll say.
In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They're at a station called Senatus, near the Saniculum Imperialis. I would be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where people elsewhere stand as well. But that I will leave to others. Save Zero. Might you accompany me?
I guess she could speak to the void.
I'm sure those in Tapper's Den will have their own opinions. Alphino, if I can drag you along? Terratum, we leave to you. You're no stranger to the people here, so it should take little prodding to convince them to speak freely.
Alright.
Then it's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet in Forum Solis. We will have what I hope is a productive discussion.
And what I hope is a voice discussion. But first, we gotta get some info from the people. Oh my goodness, there are 5 I have to question here? Are you kidding me? Chocobo, out of the way. The Tower of Babel. But what's it got to do with Void Scent? I can't say I understand. Still, your people have done much and more for us Garleans. If you say it's necessary, then that's good enough for me. That's true. A good number of these people are ex-military. They might actually understand this better than we're giving them credit for. Where's our next one? There you are. Oh. Haven't seen you in a while.
Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Garlemald. I mean no disrespect to you and yours, but shouldn't the Garlean people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dared speak thus to some of the contingent, they might make assumptions, cut our rations, or worse. No, forget I said anything. Please.
Oof. That did not go as well as I hoped it would. Quite the opposite, in fact. Hello, Malleus. What do you think? Activate the Tower of Babel? Are you out of your mind? That abomination transformed my friends and family into monsters! I can't even bear to look at it whenever I step outside. If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down! Honestly, it's not a terrible idea. We would have to, clearly fix the link to the moon somewhere else, but at the same time, yeah. Removing the tower is not a bad idea. What about you, elderly lady?
Fine. That tower isn't right, I tell you. All those magics. Years ago when I lived in the provinces, the locals raised a village to the ground with the stuff. Meetings appear and disappear and fly and burn. I can still see it when I close my eyes. You've done us a good turn, dear, but let's not talk about the tower any longer. It's unnatural.
A lot of back and forth here. Not quite sure which ones we're gonna have to deal with. Last, but not least, I hope.
No, stop it! The tower is evil! It'll turn us all evil! I don't want to hear it! Leave me alone!
Well, that was not as good as I'd hoped it would go. No, sir. Zero, what are you doing out here?
Julius is on his way with the others. I hope you found the people more receptive than we did.
Sad to say no. And like the discussion earlier, most of their fear is pretty irrational. I mean, yeah, they were taken over by anima in the tower, but that doesn't mean they have to be scared of the tower itself.
Dekumon, may I present to you Lord Gainus and Metius, magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading our efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we raised the subject of the Tower of Babel, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by representatives of the Ilsabard contingent. I see Alphino and Alice have yet to arrive, though, so perhaps we should wait. It doesn't matter if only some of you are present. We simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear. The tower is the manifestation of Garlean ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the Imperial family, and it will forever bear tremendous cultural significance, no matter how ugly it is now. It is insulting enough that we have had to suffer foreigners occupying it under the guise of rendering aid, and now you propose reactivating it? Nay, we have had enough.
The Garlean revolt may have fallen, but she fell in civil war to her own people, not to Eorzea nor any other land. We came here to assert our unequivocal claim to our territory. Garlemald, and all that lies within our bounds, is beholden to no one.
You see what we have to put up with here.
Well, fine, I guess we just invade Garlemald. It's not like you guys have enough of a force to put up with real fight here. Yeesh. Politics. Gotta love it. Well, how are we gonna solve this one? The Fallen Empire.
Since their excellencies are resolved to negotiate with the contingent, I will escort them to Terratum. I'll also instruct Alpha Nominality to meet us there. Lord Metius, Lord Neus, by your...
Oh, sorry, that's Farshawn's voice, not Julius.
Lord Metius, Lord Neus, by your leave, my comrades and I would speak with the residents of Senatus. Though the Isabard contingent holds the Tower of Babel, it is I who wishes for it to be reactivated, and thus I think it meet that I be present for this discussion. Yet my understanding of your people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, of their dreams for the future, is sorely lacking. In my ignorance I would struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I will not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish only to identify common ground, upon which we might build a relationship that sees us overcome our differences.
Very well, but know that the gods will not hesitate to escort you from the premises should they judge your actions to be inappropriate. Varshan's pretty good at not causing trouble.
If it's settled then, you should all head to Senatus. I'll join you there after I see their excellencies safely to Terratum.
Have we been to Senatus before? It doesn't sound familiar. And it's way off to the west. Here's the place, and I see someone else working on their main story. They have a wind-up anima. Oh, that reminds me! I almost forgot. Where are you, you little bugger? There you are. I actually got the minion from the last main dungeon, and it's adorable. It's a cute little puffin.
Here it is, Senatus, a temporary refuge for political dignitaries, hence the tight security. I am given to understand that outsiders are not normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. I hope it will be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero, as do I.
As do I as well. Alright, let us in. It's the same model as Terratum. Interesting.
To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Ilsabat contingent and the current state of affairs. We would also do well to learn more about this enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray keep it in mind. It is through open hearts and open minds that I believe we may yet convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good.
Yeah, well, trust me, the greater good is not something Garleans are, really good at understanding. Alright, 2 investigates and 2 speaks, huh? Let's start with this pile of crates. Anything of interest in here? The stockpile of assorted supplies bears markings indicating they were provided by the Ilsabard contingent. The Enclave is clearly reliant upon the Alliance for aid. No surprise there. Ma'am? What do you have to think about things going on?
You want to know what I think? I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. I'll say this much, though. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life. What remains of it, at any rate. I trust them to do what's best for Garlemald.
Sheesh. Yeah, I figured I'd expect that much. Oh, hey. Those barrels of ceruleum look awful familiar. I think we got a few of these last patch. You recognize the large casks as the very same you and your comrades used to transport ceruleum from Lapis Manalus. Perfect! Why they're in Senatus is unclear. That's true. Thought they were supposed to be for refugees. Not the, administrators. Weird. Alright, what about you, sir? How do I feel about the contingent? Conflicted, to say the least. I've been tasked with the distribution of supplies, and I know as well as any that we couldn't survive without outside aid. Be that as it may, even though the Empire has collapsed, we have our pride.
People don't want to be beholden to others forever, and there's no denying that it chafes to see our benefactors occupying the Imperial Palace. Well, Varshan, let's see if you found anything out of any interest. Another unvoiced. Character animations are too stiff. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? What were you able to learn? They're prideful and stubborn, aka they're Garleans. Much the same as me, then. They accept the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a measure of resentment. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. Yeah, but if they reject it, they die. How many times must I tell you? It's absolutely out of the question. Who's yelling? What's going on? We were wondering the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. Is aught the matter? Oh, no, I was just trying to explain. Mayhap you could clear this up. The contingent has made a reasonable request, but this man insists it's impossible. It concerns the Magitech weapons which run rampant throughout Regio Urimbalyasa. Every time we deliver supplies here, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address the issue once and for all, we've proposed the elimination of all machina that loiter near the supply route. But you heard him. They refuse to even consider it. The magistrates have already spoken on this matter. Rampant or no, these war machina are Garlean assets. Furthermore, who is to say they are as dangerous as you attest? It has been suggested that this could be a pretense to scavenge Magitech material for your own ends. I know not if that is the case, but the fact remains we cannot allow you to destroy them. More speculation by the magistrates, I presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken, and unless we want to inflame tensions further, there's naught we can do. How complicated relations become when not grounded in a clear and equitable arrangement. Ain't that the truth? That's politics, Zero. An equitable arrangement? Of course! Well do I understand the difficulty of your position. As a soldier, you must do your duty and obey your superiors. I have an idea, but I must first speak with Commander Lucia. May I take charge of this matter? By all means. Interesting. Alright. And of course the Garleans are being stubborn. Good. Of course he's probably going to get overridden by one of those two magistrates from earlier. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. Okay. What are we going to do? Lure them off the supply route? Might not be a bad idea. Okay, no, this one's definitely voiced. No. Wow! How is this not voiced? Wow. Welcome back, all of you. I pray there have been positive developments in your efforts to appease to the Guardian community. Well, sorry, I said appease, not appeal. Mayhap not yet, but there is a method by which I believe all stand to gain. As Satrap, I intend to propose a trade agreement between Razadhan and the people of Garlemald. Well, that's interesting. Please continue. The people of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain, for it is their home. That they have been able to survive thus far is thanks to the Ilsabard contingent, or rather, in less flattering terms, that they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. It is no surprise that some Guardians are loath to engage with foreigners, for fear of indebting themselves further, or surrendering more of their already limited autonomy. That is why I wish to present them with an equitable arrangement. One that would restore them a sense of agency after having been forced to rely upon charity. But what would they trade you?
It's not like their industry is up and running at this point.
Easier said than done. What exactly did you have in mind? Long have Garlemald and Radzenhan abided by a treaty of non-interference. Freely have we traded with one another, and I wish but to continue in this tradition. We would provide your people with such supplies as you require, in return for which you would grant us leave to use the Tower of Babel, as well as share your Magitech resources and expertise. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, we will of course require more ceruleum to fuel them. This you possess in abundance, and for it you will be duly compensated. Radzenhan's culture will be enriched by your Magitech wonders, and our ever-increasing demand for your wares will see Garlemald grow wealthy and prosperous.
Yeah, prosperous, sheesh.
Only when both sides keep the interest of the other in mind can an equitable relationship be forged. 'Tis a principle I once thought I understood, but I've come to appreciate all the more in recent days, thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift.
Ah. There's the friend word. Maybe she'll finally understand that one.
Your Excellency, thank you for your careful consideration of Garlemald's future. Though I cannot speak for every Garlean, I myself see no reason to object to your proposal. Indeed, if Radzenhan were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations with us.
Well, as long as you stop trying to kill everybody or invade.
If you see the sense in my proposal, then I ask you to join me in the negotiations at Terratum. Your support may be instrumental in winning over Lords Neas and Metius.
Those two are stubborn.
By all means, go with them. I have matters here well in hand.
I have learned all that I may have regarding the tower's operation, so I too shall hie me to Terratum. Another unvoiced? Wow. I am so surprised. A crowd you may have brought, but numbers will not intimidate us. The Tower of Babel is ours by right, and nothing you do will convince us otherwise. Never said it wasn't.
Well, rest assured, it is not our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Garlemald. Let us instead discuss the future. As the satrap of Radzenhan, I wish to establish a new trade agreement between our nations.
Well? Come on.
The aid we presently receive will not last forever, my lords. Sooner or later, we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure a means to replenish our coffers, and the proposed agreement presents a rare opportunity.
Besides, the Garlean name is Mud at this point. You guys kind of need somebody in your corner.
Tis true, we do not want for Magitech and ceruleum, and foreign currency will be needed to procure such things as we lack. It would depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits.
What? I can't believe what I'm hearing. You served the Emperor, were a proud patriot, and now you entertain selling national resources like a common merchant? Like you, I weep for what we have lost. But if we are to rebuild Garlemald, we must make use of what precious assets were made to us. Nonsense! Utter nonsense! You are a traitor, Neas, and there will be a reckoning. Oh yes, my voice is getting more evil by the moment. When the people of Senators learn of this, they will cry out for your blood. Lord Metius, wait, it isn't safe out there! God dang it. I'm gonna have to go out and find this guy, and maybe I can find him just a hair too late. I mean, it's a horrible thing to think and say, but, you know, it does technically solve the problem. Chocobo, get out of Julius! Seriously. Bonds of trust. It's far too dangerous for a civilian to be alone outside. We must go after Lord Metius.
Let us leave matters here in Maximus' care, while the rest of us join in the search. If Lord Metius is bound for Senatus, we may be able to catch up to him in Regio Uambiasa. I pray he has not come to any harm.
know why I bother sometimes. Found him. And hey! How are those rogue Magitech things looking, huh? Seems like you were directly under threat from one. Oh, shoot. Excuse me. Didn't quite take it down. How about listening to reason now, buddy? Otherwise, I could just leave you here and let the Magitech have you. I'm alive? Okay, no, this should be voiced. The character movement's much better here.
Praise the sisters, you are safe.
Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help.
Oh my god. You are 0! You are literally 0 from 2 patches ago. Except you're more of an ass.
You love Garlemald dearly, Lord Metius. That much is plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here? I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless. And I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
Maybe. Take the deal. Oh, bad memories there, man. Bad memories.
Aye. So long as we live. Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken. We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
To be lectured by the young, it ill becomes a man of my station.
Yeah, but you can't say you didn't deserve it, buddy.
I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me? Ere we part, I apologize for my discourtesy. I owe you my life, and I thank you.
Better. Alright, let's get this guy back.
Euless, wait. I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Okay.
Worry not, we shall see the magistrates safely back to Tertium.
Yeah, these two are more than capable. But, what's up, Zero?
What is it?
You bound that man with trust, didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to return.
Wouldn't really call it binding, but convincing more like. Go ahead. Explain.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here.
Shouldn't we be heading back to Tertium?
So that's how Zero came to join you.
Oh, yeah, he hadn't heard the backstory.
Still, I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as a sociable person. Before all this, Any free time I had, I spent looking after my brother and sister. As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence. Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself. Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy. Trust comes easy in such company.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it.
True enough.
No one trusts in you, and so you trust in no one. And round the wheel turns. During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive.
Damn. Harsh world. I wonder if it felt the darkness.
My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
No one to trust.
Almost. 2 men tried just the once. A swordsman and a mage, whom I met when passing through a village. They had saved the people there from corrupted Memoriads.
Is it just me, or does the swordman look a little like the Witcher? It's the hair, I
When
think.
they learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened. They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search for means to end the Contra Memoria.
Oh my god. One of those soldiers is gonna end up being Golbez. He's gonna be the guy that looks like the Witcher, isn't he?
They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I not, having learned the lessons of my world? Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit.
I
expected some manner of outburst, some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply watched me walk away. I didn't know what to make of it then, but now, perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them too. Perhaps it was just an offer and nothing more. I continued fighting alone, but ultimately I was undone, overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together.
Yeah, we saw that memory.
I was cold, in pain, wishing desperately that someone would save me.
Oh, did those two come and save her?
And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world.
Oh. The flood happened right then and there.
Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift. When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations. I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it.
Well, thankfully you're getting a second chance.
I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I should have accepted their invitation.
Maybe. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure by the time they came around, the 13th was already beyond saving.
Had I joined them as I've joined you, I might not have had to face the end of the world alone. But it's all history now. No amount of reflection or regret will change our present reality.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get.
Okay, that's definitely the twins talking.
What you couldn't do yesterday, you might still do today. Think about it. It's plain that you've forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots? I trust you too, for what it's worth.
Aww. Yep, and there's the old hat grab.
Here it is again. The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow.
Oh. She's remembering what happiness feels like.
If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
Well, oh, I see. However you like. With a handshake, perhaps? Nah. You find your own way. Whatever feels right.
Give me your hand.
Ah.
It's not something you do constantly, mind. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend. So that's what it means.
Aww.
Someone you trust.
Zero making friends. Hey, the snow stopped finally, too. Perfect. Ah. Memory. So many good friends. Oh, am I gonna remember a few of my own? Oh, even Xenos. Pain in the ass that he was. We still can look fondly upon him from time to time. Aha, and that takes care of this quest.
Thank you. I feel at last as though I've found the answers I've sought, and I owe it all to you and Julius. Right then. I expect the others have already arrived back at Tertium. We should join them.
Yeah, we should. Let's get back there. I think I can get one more quest in today before we call it. Alright, hopefully now we can get the magistrates on our side, finally. Please? Voice acted. No, really? Wow. I thought for sure the way I saw the characters moving.
Full glad am I to see everyone's returned, and none so worse for wear. Various representatives of the Garlean community are gathered here this very moment. I dare say this is a fine opportunity to announce the trade agreement.
You've read the memorandum. I trust you find the terms acceptable.
I do. Aeneas, I pray you forgive my disgraceful conduct earlier. I am ashamed not only of my behavior, but of placing the burden of negotiations solely on your soldiers in my absence.
Oh, hey Alphino. Alice A.
You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation to the people at Tapper's Den, some reacted quite strongly. Once we explained that it would be to prevent another Void Center invasion, however, they were more receptive. It's fair to say the recent episode is still fresh in their minds.
That's not surprising. I tagged along to deliver supplies to Ceruleum. I have to say, I didn't expect to see such a large crowd. Even the stuffy Imperials who normally keep to themselves and senators are here. Yeah, it is definitely a crowd. Ahem. My friends and countrymen, lend me your ears. Alright, let's hear it. I am pleased to inform you all on this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Rods-et Han. To inaugurate our accord, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babel. In return, Rods-et Han will provide us with supplies, which shall be equally distributed amongst the settlements of our nation. People not too fond of the whole Tower of Babel part, it looks like. Let me be clear on one point. This is not an act of charity, but trade. A bargain struck between equals, rooted in trust and respect. And it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence.
Rods-et Han holds Garlean technology and ingenuity in the highest esteem. It is my hope that, through this agreement, our peoples will enjoy a mutually beneficial relationship for years to come.
Now then, we bid you gather round to hear the particulars, that you might convey them to those elsewhere. You should also stress the whole reason why we're going into the tower, to save the world. And then also the fact that the thing that was controlling them is gone and will not return ever. That way they don't have to worry about the tower freaking out and, controlling them all again.
Oh, thank goodness. So burdened by hardship and trauma were the people of Garlemald that they were unable to imagine a brighter future. To be recognized as equals, as a nation with something of value to offer and others, that validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope.
'Tis by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Babel, a rather timely development given the ether tank's impending arrival.
Once the tower's stores have been replenished, we need but await Ishtola's signal to channel the energy to the moon, yes? Then you can leave that and anything else on this end to me and Alphino. No need to worry. Devote all your energies to the mission in the void. As ever, I am in your debt.
Getting it figured out there, Zero?
You are good friends.
Yes, we are. Alright. Guessing the next main quest is going to get us up to the moon. Alright, back we are, finally. Lunar Rendezvous.
Let us take a moment to review matters as they stand. Having procured sufficient stores of ether, we may now channel the requisite energy unto the moon via the Tower of Babel. Our work on the star is complete. However, we have yet to receive word from Ishtola as to the state of the lunar preparations.
Hence the quest called Lunar Rendezvous. I guess we gotta head up there and check on everybody.
A ritual to open the gate, and measures to forestall a void-sent invasion. Neither task is simple nor quickly completed. She would doubtless benefit from our assistance.
The very thing I was about to propose. Let us join her above and lend what aid we may.
It originally sounds better in this one. Maybe my ear was just off in that first set of quests. Anyway, yeah. Let's head up top.
Ere we set forth, however, Y'shtola did bid me relay a message to thee. As thou art well aware, a key objective of our mission is the extraction of thy sister Ashdaya from the Void. Held captive for millennia and divested of an eye, she is like to be severely weakened. To make good her escape, she shall require aid. Aid that is best provided by a fellow Great Worm.
Oh, they need Vitra here. You know, full Vitra.
You would have me go in my true form? Very well. Like our sire, we Great Worms are capable of traversing the Great Expanse. The journey will take some time, but I shall take myself to the moon. To begin with, I shall return this vessel to Radzadhan, that I may have both my eyes.
Probably a good idea.
And until such time as we find Ashdaya, I would entrust her eye to your keeping.
Wait, seriously? God dang. That's a huge measure of trust there, my man.
Will you do this for me?
I'll keep her safe. And we'll stick an extra warding scale on it just to be safe.
We shall contact you via Link Pearl once all is in place on the moon. You need but follow Y'shtola's instructions.
Understood. We'll be ready.
Take care, Zero.
She has smiled so much in this patch. It's amazing.
It will be the briefest of homecomings. I'll be back before you know it.
Ah, she thinks of the source as home now. More or less.
In mare elementorum, then. Go well.
Mare Elementorum. I like that pronunciation. I'm probably gonna screw it up again. Finally! Kind of figured you'd guys be hanging out in the Watcher's Tower. What are you doing out
I
here?
took the liberty of informing Y'shtola of our arrival. She and her entourage should be here momentarily.
An entourage, eh? Oh, dang. Donna's here, too.
Forgive me. I'd hoped to have everything in order sooner. My thanks for the extra hands.
It's no big deal. Just got lucky yours was done first.
Alphino and Alice stand ready at the Tower of Babel. Vritra is also en route.
Excellent. You've done well, all of you. For my part, I've managed to prepare the ritual with help from the Watcher. All that remains is to channel the ether from below. This should, I pray, open a gate leading to the moon of the 13th.
May I just say how excited we are to be a part of this grand undertaking. The development of the artificial atomos was one thing, but this is an opportunity like no other.
Yeah, plus you're on the moon.
Y'shtola even managed to get a loan of elegant treatises on void sense summoning from the prized collection of the Sons of Saint Koinak.
Oh, damn.
The Empire's application of etherochemistry in regulating void gates provided us with many a useful insight for our work, let me tell you.
I asked a favor of Grahatir when we were comparing notes on cross-rift travel. Given his credentials, I was confident he wouldn't be denied.
Oh, something to pass on to the forum. Oh, come on. Tell me.
The knowledge of our forebears has brought us far, as has our own. And with our knowledge and resources, we shall construct a void-sent containment seal on a heretofore unseen scale.
Oh. That's what he's on. Cool. Just gotta make sure it doesn't work on 0.
Containment seal. Then thou wouldst make use of...
Aye, a tried and tested means of holding dark entities at bay is readily available here. 'Twould be remiss of us not to employ it. We shall reforge the brands that Xenos and Fandaniel destroyed.
Aha.
That which held even Zodiac shall more than suffice for void scent of any persuasion.
That's amazing sounding.
The Watcher is already hard at work, tending to the most critical parts of the brand's restoration. There are, however, a number of concerning factors that remain. With your help, I'm sure we can resolve them.
All right, let's resolve them.
Time is of the essence, so I suggest we continue this discussion as we make our way to the brands.
I'm surprised that the Watcher and the Loporits haven't been able to fix those things. I mean, I guess there was no real reason to before now. All right, what do we need to do to get this sucker fixed?
Now then, to the matter at hand. With the Watcher's assistance, we shall reforge each of Zodiac's brands and use them to erect a barrier capable of repelling void scent. Yet though we expect it to be effective against larger beings on account of its original purpose, there is a chance it will allow lesser void scent to slip through. Therefore, we shall require a second line of defense, and I believe the Loporits' supporters would be suitable for this purpose. Uyonjay, Dekumon, the two of you have a strong rapport with our lunar allies. I would have you meet with Livingway in Bestway's Burrow and provide any assistance they require. I will join you. As a void scent, my knowledge may be of use. An excellent idea. In the meantime, the rest of us will see to reforging the brands. I will send word when we have finished. Pray do the same.
Okay. Gonna go hang out with the Loporits. We can do that. And there's Livingway.
There you are! Ishtar has surpassed me of your present undertaking. I understand that she wishes to deploy our pride and joy, the veritable carrots of our eye, our unrivaled combat supporters, as a precautionary measure in case this void scent containment seals of hers proves lacking. As we speak, my fellows are rounding up what units they can and will bring them to the northeast corner in short order. Please wait there.
Okay. Though I question your combat capabilities. Well, let's see. Oh, well, you do have the mechs, right?
Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Hello there, friends. A new person. Heard there was a bit of a rush, so we gathered what combat-ready supporters we had available.
A welcome contribution. Thine initiative never ceaseth to amaze.
Oh, stop! You're making me blush. Though we have fulfilled the purpose given to us by Heidelin, aiding the people of Aetheris remains our greatest joy.
God, napping way, wake up.
So you can count on us, ever and always.
Or is that sleeping way? I'm not sure.
Right, so we originally deployed these supporters to patrol the moon and keep it safe.
I mean, that's pretty much what you're gonna do anyway. Just now we know there's void scent most likely coming.
They've never tussled with void scent before, but with sufficient data, they ought to hold their own against the ghastly fiends. Practical, tactical data acquired in the moment, and who better to give the supporters an educational thrashing than the champion of Aetheris?
I mean, there's also Zero. She is a void scent.
I believe I would make a better instructor.
Yeah. Oh God.
Not only have I fought void scent, I am one.
And the rabbits crap themselves. And the constructor's like, nope. Well, that was entertaining. Wake up, Sleeping Way.
Well, don't just stand there. Engage! 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 Engage!
This should be good. And now we need new supporters. Damn, Zero.
That'll do, that'll do! A defeat bitterer than the bitterest carrot. Using this experience, we must enhance the supporters and turn them into void-sense slaughterbots! Indeed. Right after we've managed to put the poor dears back together.
Come on, you have creation magic. Shouldn't be that hard.
Forgive our comrade's enthusiasm. May I inquire as to how long the repairs will take?
On an ordinary day, I'd say no less than 5 carrots briskly consumed. But if you were to provide us with encouragement...
Oh my
would you
god.
be able to do it in 2?
That face. Did I walk into another Hildebrand episode and not know it? Because it feels like it sometimes.
This I leave to you.
Yeah, fine. The noise. The noise is perfect. The Lopert's eyes twinkle with anticipation as they await your buoyant exhalation. To wit, they yearn for you to rally their spirits. You've got to be kidding me. This is... Where's my rally? Rally, where are you? I was fun having to find this one. Ah, there you are. I know I could type this in the bar, but I'm so used to doing it like this. Come on, Sleeping Way! Get it together! What? Engage! Engage! Oh, sorry, I was in the midst of... Forgive me, but the sight of precision parts is strangely soothing and sleep-inducing. I'm trying to keep moving. Oh, no, I'm falling asleep now. I have to rally 4 Loperits. See, this is why we have the history button, because the history button makes it so much easier.
What a marvelous feeling. There's nothing like wild gesticulations of encouragement to fire you up.
Honestly, I feel like I'd be distracting them more than anything, but hey. It seems to get their attention.
With you cheering me on, I can do not less than my very best.
And good old Growing Way for the last one. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Fix that robot.
Oh, thank you very, very much. You don't know how uplifting it is to have you encouraging us. I mean, showing us the proper technique so we may keep our supporters operating at peak efficiency.
Sure.
My, everyone is in high spirits indeed. Thanks to your encouragement, we'll have the supporters up and running again in no time at all. Pay attention to our remaining busy work and leave the deployment of our new and improved void-sense slaughterbots to us.
That was a cute way to end this one. All set? Off they go. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? We've just finished restoring the brands.
Damn, that was fast.
Let us reconvene once you've finished tending to matters there. The culmination of our efforts is nigh.
Huh. Damn. I did not expect those to actually, be seen fixed. That's a detail. That's a good detail. But unfortunately, this is all the time I have for today. So, if you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and favorite, and subscribe to join me for more Eorzean adventures. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.